Hello everybody, welcome to this vlog where we're going to be looking at another Raging Heroes model. For this month, the Raging Heroes guys for Heroes Infinite brought out a whole load more of their Arcadians, which are basically sci-fi elves. I wonder where we've seen those before. But we thought this time we'd do something a little different, because up until now we've done characters or sort of more infantry size sort of things. And I decided to make this one a little different by going something bigger. Much bigger. So what we're going for this time is the Arcadian Colossus, the Starbreaker pattern. This is the Heroes Infinite exclusive version of this model. There's two for this current release, this one and the standard one. So we're going with this one because I will show you a picture of him. Look at that. He's so badass looking. If you want a reference point for size, this, if you're an Eldar player, would be the size of a Revenant Titan. So there's a lot of similarities here, but at the same time, it's a really cool model. Plus, it's a 3D print file, which is absolutely great. So we're going to be going with this, and this vlog is really going to be more centered on how to approach a larger scale piece, like what process of actually doing it, more than the setup of the print, the cleaning of the print, which we've covered in the last 2 or 3 vlogs. We've talked about how that works. In this one, we're going to be looking at how you make this into something physical and actually ready for the tabletop, and the process of doing that. So without further ado, we're going to nip on out to the gaming hall, and I'm going to show you what we're working with. So out in the gaming hall, I have everything already printed, which is already a difference to this vlog. As you can see, there's quite a lot of parts, and you know, the legs in particular are absolutely massive when you see the size of them. So how do you go about managing your time and managing printing something this size and on this scale? So my approach had been to start with parts that once they'd printed, I could feasibly have already started the build at that point. So for example, I have it broke down into the beds. The first bed was just the legs, the upper and lower legs. The second bed was over here, which was the feet, the heel parts, the hip joints, and then a couple of these things here, which were going to be needed later on. After that, I moved up to the torso and the shoulders. So that's bed 3. Bed 4, then back again, 2 more of these things, plus the arms, the upper arms and the forearms with the guns. The final bed was the head and the barrels for the guns as well. So 5 beds of printing, not overstressing our printer in any way, not trying to pack the beds too tight or anything, because if you pack it too tight, you're going to find it's not going to take as long if you're packing the beds tighter and putting more parts on. But what you might end up having is a couple of failure issues here and there if you're trying too hard, lifting stuff that's maybe a bit too heavy. So I wanted to keep things simple and in a manner that I could have started the build early if I'd felt like it. So for example, once the legs were off, which took about 22 hours, I could glue them together or clean them up and glue them together. Then the feet would be ready by the time I'd done that, so I could put the feet on and so on and so forth, and slowly build my way up from ground to the top of the model. What I want to say about the print quality is that every part, bar a few of them, are completely hollow. So the legs have a lot of hollows in them, which allow your resin to drain out. I didn't find a lot of wastage in material with this print. There's a few parts that are solid. That's hollow. The shoulders are solid. The gun arms are solid. The head and the gun barrels are solid. Anything that has large voids has generally been hollowed out, which is excellent. And of course, because it's Raging Heroes, they give you the option of a pre-supported or unsupported model as well. So if you're not confident with your own ability to use your slicer program, use pre-supported. If you're a bit more confident and you think you can fit a bit more on your build plate, or you have a bigger build plate and you know what you're doing, go with the unsupported, try it out yourself and see what you think. It's always a good learning experience as well if you feel like doing it. So with that all explained, with all the method to the madness explained, I'm going to sit down now. We'll probably time lapse it, and I'm actually going to build this thing. Well, it's finished and it's absolutely huge. You might have seen little bits from the time lapse there, but this thing is, you can't really explain the presence this thing has on a table. Yeah, it's about the size of an Eldar Revenant. So I decided for that I'd bring in a few models just to show a little bit of size comparison. So down here we have our little Primaris Marine along with the Dreadnought. And on the other side I have a Tyranid Hierophant. Long-term viewers of the show might remember me going in and painting that one at one point and not enjoying it so much. But this thing was pretty easy to put together. It's only super glued at the minute, so if you're looking to use this in games of whatever you want to play with it, I mean particularly one-page rules, something like that, you're probably going to want to take a bit more time to maybe pin it properly, maybe use a different style of glue instead of just super glue. You want to maybe use something a bit more grippy, like contact or something like that, like an instant contact glue, because it's going to give you the rigidity the model really needs. Super glue's fine for building it like this, and again, if you're taking your time, use a little bit of sandpaper, sort of smooth off some of those contact points. Other than that, it goes together pretty well. It's clearly quite an ambitious model for Raging Heroes to do, and I think if they really wanted to revisit it, I would have liked a bit more depth on the connection points. Some of the connection points feel a little bit shallow. I would have liked some sort of pin or something like that that would have locked into the legs and made that a bit more rigid. However, it goes together fine. It looks great, and I think it's going to just look fantastic once it's painted up and you know, primed, painted and whatnot. I have no idea what to do with it painting wise. We'll probably show that off at some point. I'm not sure if I want to follow my own, roll it into my own Eldar army, in which case it'll be white and green, or if I want to do something a little bit more special with it. So let me know in the comments what you think of that. What way should I paint it? What do you think of the miniature itself? And to put it into context, what this cost to make is probably about £20 British for the amount of resin used, as well as a subscription to Heroes Infinite as well. So at the time, £13–14. So we're still coming under the £50 mark for actually getting this model, printing it, and having it here on the table physically. However, if you're new to 3D printing, then obviously you've got the buy-in of the machine as well. But with the amount our machine or my machine's been working at the minute, it's more than made up for its own cost. I've created a lot of stuff that just sort of balances all that out and just makes it worth having. So let me know in the comments what you think of the miniature. Let me know if you are interested in trying it yourself, or if you already have and you've come up with any other solutions that you like or would prefer to do yourself if you had this miniature in your own hands. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again very soon.